Hello, everybody. Welcome to this is like episode 5B. I've been adopting the naming nomenclature that AJ is already using. Seems like he'll number his episodes, and then if he's working on something a couple episodes, he'll add letters to them. Really, this should be kind of like 6B, but at this point I'm not going to go back and make new thumbnails and everything for the one episode we did with Ryan. So there is a one episode out there in the ether that's not really that important because we have been trying to debug this code, and it's been a challenge because we keep getting different errors seemingly randomly, even right before going on here, like literally 2 minutes before I was running the create identity script again that we've been trying to figure out. And I got a brand new error I hadn't even seen yet. I'm like, all right, great. Well, I guess once again, we're going to not be able to do the thing. Then I waited 60 seconds, ran it again, and hey, it worked. So that's good. It worked. No idea why. I think, this is kind of the nature of the blockchain when you're dealing with this large decentralized network. Sometimes errors can be hard to trace back. So totally get it, no shade to anybody out there working on this. This is highly complicated tech, but yeah, it's just, it's hard when your code is broken and you don't know why, and all you can really do is say, hey, does anyone out there know why my code is broken? But since the code was not broken, I have an identity ID now, so I think we can move ahead with our tutorial and continue kind of rerunning it. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me just do one last quick check that I don't have anything on my screen. That is bad. Nope. This is a fairly new computer, so I'm trying to keep it locked down. All right, so cool. Let's hide this. Move that over there, and then I always like to do just one quick check. Make sure I'm live. There we go. Great. Okay. So let's give a little recap of kind of where we are, what we've done, and why. Oh, actually, real quick, I know what I want to fix first. I want to fix these screenshots. So this is our tutorial here. Oh, definitely didn't mean to do that. Meant to zoom in. There we go. And so we've got, where's the first screenshot? There's no first screenshot, I guess. So it should probably be 1, 2, 3. And okay. Let's see, that should do it. Yeah, great. Got the screenshots now. I think there's going to be one more down here. I think there's a screenshot for the React server, but I guess we'll get to that when we get to it. Okay, that's fine. Let me push those. Okay. Great. Okay, so this is a tutorial that I've been working on. Most of this I wrote back last summer when I was originally doing all of this stuff for Dash. Make sure that's visible. And yeah, so if we look at kind of high level, we have an introduction where we talk about what is the Dash platform. If you're here watching this stream, you probably have somewhat of an idea of what that is. This is the JavaScript web-based new platform that is being built out. It is currently only running on testnet, so you can't really use this to push real funds to wallets or buy things out in the real world. But we're working this out so that once we are on mainnet, we have like good materials and example apps and things that people are going to be able to work with. And so I started out by just creating a node project with a couple little defaults. This is one thing that is new from last time when I built this. I still need to update that there. We're now on a version 4 dev test. So this is basically, you can think of this as running at latest. And this is kind of like a canary or a next version or a whatever you want to call it. So if you just install Dash by itself, you're going to get version 3. You want to make sure you're using the newest one. This is one of the things that was suggested to me as I was trying to debug the errors. And then we're setting type to module. This is not in the official Dash docs because I have rewritten all the examples to be in ESM instead of require. And then here we got a whole bunch of scripts. So what I've been doing is kind of like working through all of these scripts that I had written and made sure that they still work. And seemingly they all do kind of still work. The only real change we made was here in the client. There's this skip synchronization before height, and that is not correct anymore. So we thought that fixing and updating this number is what fixed our create identity function, but both people in the Discord were saying that's not actually the case, and then I discovered myself just a couple minutes ago that that is true. We were still getting errors, but they were different errors, so you know, hard to say exactly, but I would say for people out there following along, this is the number I got from a Dash core team member. When I have gotten it to work, it has been using this number, so this seems to be the magic number for now. I've got another change that I have is that if you look at all these scripts in the actual Dash docs, they give you the client in there with the scripts. I have decoupled out the client, so it has its own file here, and this is where you're going to sync your wallet mnemonic and things of that nature. So after that, we have a couple scripts that are just reading from the blockchain. So this is our get block methods. Let's see, that is like that. Yep. And then when you run those, you just get some kind of block numbers back. And these are not super duper interesting, so I'm gonna skip past most of that. Then you got the create wallet and identity. This is the really important stuff. This is how you get a wallet and then start creating stuff on the blockchain. So your create wallet script will run get wallet account, set that to a variable, and then export wallet to get your mnemonic back, and then get unused address. So you can get an address to send funds to. Then when you run the command, you get this back. And this is, very old wallet from when I first wrote this. You need to then use testnet. So to be aware of in testnet, when you use it, you're going to add in an address. Say you're not a robot, hit get coins. Then you're going to wait, and eventually the site is going to time out and then just go blank and give you an error. That means it worked. So after you do that, you can then go to the block explorer and see that everything has worked as expected. Do I still have? Okay, good, I do. Then the specific address or the specific function that was really giving us issues was this create identity function. And it seems here that, so you see last time I ran it, I was able to get this. And then real quick, this is probably not super duper necessary, but I'm gonna try and keep as best as I can my wallet hidden. I don't think it's really the biggest deal if it were to be seen, but it just allows me to take one more thing off the list of things that might be broken if someone, hops on, drains my wallet or something like that, which I'm sure none of you streamers out there would do because you're all nice, kind people, right? Of course. Okay, so we have a working identity ID now, and just kind of depending on how far we get, I may go back and kind of start filling in some of like the explanations of this code, because right now, and like I didn't really talk about too much what an identity is, I don't think. So if we go up here, yeah, so there's not really a lot of terms defined right now in this tutorial. I just want to get the code working first. So we'll see how far we get. At some point, I'm gonna want to do that. So I think right now we're on the retrieve identity. So let's see how this goes now. So now we've got our identity ID is set in our .env, and we're going to run this identities.get function. And something I'm doing here is I'm destructuring out the platform and then running this. You could do this as a one-liner if you want. I kind of like doing it like this because then if you want to like console log the platform, you could do that in here. Things like that. Just kind of get some more visibility into your code, especially when weird things are breaking and you don't know why. Okay, let's see what's going to go when I run this. Okay, I think that worked. Looks like it. I actually have. So I don't think I need this actually in my .env, so I'm not sure if I really want this same way of logging it out, but I do know something I can do is I have this gist where I just like keep useful little snippets and things. That's for curl. That's probably not going to work. Okay, never mind. Anyway, let's keep moving on. That worked. So, okay, so now we got retrieve identity ID. This is going to be the specific IDs that I've got in my wallet. And if we run that, we're going to get back, I believe, an array of IDs. I think there's only going to be one, because I've only created one. So that right there is what was created up here. Okay, so far, this is all making sense. This is all working as intended, which is very good. Now we've got top up identity. And let's get that here and run that. These are some of the, actually, let me make a note. Ask Ryan about credits. What are they? This is a question I'd had last time we were doing this. How credits relate to all this, what they are. So we got that there. We got identity credit balance. So that's good. Okay, now we're gonna register a name. This is where we start to create something kind of akin to a domain name on your block, or like an ENS, Ethereum name, service name, things like that. So register name here. Now this is taking in the identity ID and the label. I haven't created a label yet, though. I think I messed up something. Wait. I think the label is the name you want to give it, if I remember correctly. Let me just real quick go and check this section out. Identities and names. Register a name for an identity. Yeah, identity name goes here. There's a reason why I called it a label. specifically that I'm not quite remembering right now, but I remember going back and forth on trying to decide how to name that variable back when I was doing this. So let's see. Maybe it'll come to me later, but for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna process.env that because I don't want to go back in there. I'm just going to do this, and I'm gonna say stream test, and then we give this 2024 03 30. Yeah, that's fine. That should be fine. So let's try that now. Register name, see what happens. And let me make a note to myself to actually explain that. Explanation of label. It is the dash name you want to give yourself. Okay, and it looks like it worked. So that's cool. That is very cool. Awesome. So now that we have registered a name, let's retrieve the name. And run retrieve name. Okay, so I think we're getting too lowercase. I think I know what's wrong. Label is not process.env anymore. Actually, yeah, let's hop off again and just put this in the place where it goes, which is a .env. Okay, boom, boom, and let's get that hard coded out of there. Okay, okay, okay. And we're back. Sorry for the bit of the screen switching here. This should work as expected now. Null. Null. Why is it null? Still null. That is odd. I should be getting this back. Okay. Okay. Let's do this first. See if that helps. Still null. Okay. I think that might be an issue when we go forward, because look at that. Because this is the part that is displayed on your front end in the example as it goes on. So let's make a note of that. Okay, let's keep going though. Let's see what happens. So now we're in the data contracts section. So we're gonna do a register contract. And actually, I'm gonna stop here and clean some things up in dash examples. So I don't have too many notes here. So let's start with first this one. Create a label in .env with your desired name. I will be using okay. Okay, great. Great. I had already known that this was broken. Yes, that's right. There it is. Okay. So I already knew that. Not sure why though. Maybe it's got yeah. Okay. Anyway, so that's probably fine then, at least for now. I think we'll be able to continue on, but I do need to figure out why that's broken at a certain point. A bit more descriptive. Let me move it right here. Okay, and then I wanted to also fix this part. I don't want that hard coded, of course. Cool. Let's push those. Okay. So, boom. Cool. Okay. All right, we're making good progress. Making good progress here. So we already got. Did I already create those? Yeah, I did. Okay. So let's refresh that. Register contract. And let's fix that. And here we go. Okay. Got an error. So let's see if hard coding the identity ID fixes it like it did last time. No, it did not. Unless, let me try one more thing. Okay, so same error no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to keep that there then. Keep this here because that seems to not actually matter. And let's update this. Yeah, it seemed like I had gotten these ones working in the past. So I got a couple broken things in here now, unfortunately. But that is the nature of code. When you leave it alone for a year, stuff breaks. So Something went wrong, value error. That's what I would need to figure out. What does WBGPTR mean? Okay, I'm gonna keep plowing through. Oh, I don't have an actual command to run this. That's the do. Okay. Retrieve contract. Okay, that's getting the wrong contract ID. So I can get a contract ID. I ain't register a contract. Okay, obviously. So to retrieve the contract, you gotta be able to create it. So that is a bit of an issue. All right, I don't think I need the contracts for the front end example I built. I think the names are all you need. So I'm going to just log that error, the first error, the error from register contract, make sure that's taken care of. Okay, that was taken care of. Good. Okay, so but I didn't push it. Okay, so let's skip ahead a bit. I think I want to work through the contract stuff with Ryan on stream. So if you're watching this, Ryan, you're out there. Help! Help me! I need help. Okay, so let's skip all that and let's go to the Express server. Not there. Here. We're gonna make our API. And so what I had done here is I had, and this is where our stuff gets really complicated. So I have an Express server that is going to provide an endpoint that does these node scripts that we're just running. So that's pretty much how you should think about it. And then let me just make sure. This is probably not all exactly, or maybe it is. Let's see. Block hash, get block height, create wallet, create identity, retrieve identity IDs, update identity, disable key, top up identity, register name, retrieve name. Okay, yeah, so these do not have the contract stuff in them yet, which makes sense because as I was saying, I don't think we needed those to get this to work. So that's all fine. So I'm gonna let that sit for now. But I think, yeah, this is where I already have this, but I had, okay, so I don't remember if I still need npm run all. That's something I'm gonna have to kind of remind myself of. But for now, let's do this. I'm just gonna keep both these in here. So if I run either of them, should work. Shouldn't be too big of an issue. Now let's look at our API server, server.js, which is gonna be up here. Yep. Okay. And let's see what happens. Okay. So we're going to run this now, but we're going to use our correct name, which was, yeah, so I've done a couple ones here. So he said I got dash stream test. I had AJC web dev test. That's a let's fix that right now. That's obnoxious. Yeah, so we're gonna want dash stream or some stream test. That's what it was. There we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's all good. And then dash stream test. Okay, that's fine. That already needs to be updated. And that's from that's your view component. Apparently, VS Code does not like the view syntax. Maybe I need the view. Probably need one of these guys. There we go. Much nicer. Okay, that's all good. Okay. Alrighty. We are pushing code, people. All right. Let's go back up here. Okay, and then refresh that. Okay, so if everything is running as planned, I should be able to hit this and get my name back. Just double check, make sure that's all good. Okay, look at that. What is all of this? Okay, it worked. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. That's killer. Okay, so I think we should be good to go all the way up to the end of this React example. And if that is all the case, a couple things I'm going to want to figure out. I just had it. Hold on. Oh, I want to update Express server commands to use Node 20 features, including watch and env flags. So this is pretty cool. You no longer need nodemon and .env if you're using Node 20. So that's something I'm gonna wanna fix. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Do that. So now what we're doing, let me explain what's happening now real quick. So, and no one's really talking in the chat, so I'm just gonna close this and then check it when I finish in like 15 minutes or so. Let me fix this ridiculous window setup I've had this whole stream. Okay, this is a little nicer. Okay, so now what's happening is we've got kind of like I think this is considered a mono repo setup. I am nesting my front ends in with the scripts and the API. So I kind of like this structure because it separates out. There's like the base scripts, which you can just kind of run as I've been showing. And then there's your API, which is your back end. And then there's your front end. if you really wanted to get nuts with it, you could create like a front end folder that then nests all these folders. That's probably a bit more than is really necessary, because then you're kind of, the more deeply nested you get, the more complicated things tend to be. So I'm gonna keep this structure like this until anyone tells me otherwise. And then once you do all of that, so I'm using just a kind of vanilla React Vite setup here. And then we're gonna want these scripts and all this info. Oops. Okay. So let's go from here up. Let's go dash React example. Okay, and all this stuff, look here, we're on V5 instead of V4. We're on a slightly updated plugin. There may be things that could be updated here to make this cleaner. And, I kind of decided to build this out piece by piece. Really, what I should probably do in this tutorial is just run your v create command and just generate all this by itself. But, it is kind of a nice exercise to go through, create your whole index.html page, your main function, your app function, your CSS. It's meditative. It reminds me that I'm a React dev. Okay, so let's just get all this code in here. Get your app.jsx in here. We got that in there. That's correct. Add some CSS styling. Okay. I think that's going to let us, hold on, actually. Whoa, wait. Don't forget, you gotta have your server running. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, now, there we go. Great. So what we have here is the name that I registered being returned. And this is different. This has way more information than it did last time. So that's really interesting. Last time this was a whole bunch of this stuff was not here. That's why I was a little confused when I first ran the node script, and it gave me like this huge output. So we'll be kind of curious to ask Ryan what all this extra information is and whether I actually need it or not. I can definitely see there's something going on with some regular expression stuff. Domain name converted to lowercase for case insensitive uniqueness validation. So this might just be kind of cover your butt stuff that's been built in to handle all of the complexities of, routing, domain naming, that type of stuff. But this is all great. This is all super great. So now we want a fetch button. So let's update this. And now what's going to happen is there's going to be a button I can press that will fetch the data with a nice little loader, and it's formatted a bit more nicely. So now we can kind of actually read what the heck's going on here. CSS is still being improved. We're running off the page here, but okay, so we have gotten ourselves back to where we were in the beginning. And I'm seeing here, there we go. I'm also seeing here that I didn't give any of the instructions for actually installing the Vue things, because I wasn't really sure how many of the front ends to include in this tutorial, because over in our actual Dash examples mono repo, you can see here I'd already built out whole bunch of these. Vue, Svelte, Solid, React, Preact, Angular. I should really get rid of Preact. I don't think anyone uses Preact anymore. I'll ask Ryan about that. Actually, got a couple notes I need to make. Do we really need Preact? How many front ends do we actually want to build out in this tutorial? Do we want extra tutorials for each front end framework, or do we just want the Dash examples repo with simple commands to spin up? Okay. All right. Feeling good. Feeling good about this stream. I think we made a lot of progress in terms of getting ourselves back to where we were when I left off last summer. We still got some broken Node scripts, and our whole kind of data contract section is totally busted. But that's kind of things that I think I want to work through with Ryan, and then other stuff in the examples I want to work through. So let me just take a few of those loose ends that I had still that I want to update. So we can close that. Still no comments. Dash examples. So let's go fix this image. Whoops. Don't do that. Okay. I think we were on 4. So yes, this will be screenshot 4. That's why I had the question marks. I wasn't sure. And this will need a update screenshot. Okay. And then I'm gonna just drop some of these into the tutorial, so I go through it next time, probably off screen. I'll be fixing some of these things to do. And I think at the very least, since I have the whole mono repo thing set up in this tutorial, we should do at least 2 front ends. So it makes sense. Otherwise, it's like, why is the React thing called React in a React folder? That doesn't really make as much sense. Include actually, this I can just copy paste most of what I did up here. Okay. Actually, I can even do that. I just need to know what was in here. Great. Great. No view DOM, of course. Great. Well, it looks like these can be dev dependencies. So let's do this. Okay, and then I want to make sure I have this saved as well. So let's get back here, get a init. Let's see if I've done everything correctly. Yeah, it looks like no modules, no .envs. That's all good. Get init, get repo. Great. Okay. Cool. Great. All right. I think I documented all my questions, gave myself a bunch of to-dos, and my tutorial to update. And yeah, Ryan, if you're watching this, I would like to have you on next time I do a stream, to kind of work out some of these higher level questions I have, and then hopefully you can help me debug, or at least get in the right direction of debugging the couple things that are still broken. Let me just make sure I commit this here. Um, add view instructions and to-dos. Okay, awesome. Let's stop screen sharing. Okay, cool. Not sure how many people out there were watching this, but if you were, thanks for joining. Hope this was interesting or useful for you in some respects. These are kind of just like co-working, live streaming. I had gone back and watched some of my streams from the summer, and I was very glad I had streamed them because I had forgotten so many things. But yeah, so don't have a specific date in mind yet, but Monday we're gonna be back with Incubator Weekly. Hopefully getting on. I think we had a guest to talk about some decentralized storage type stuff. I may be wrong about that, but that was the last thing I think we had talked about. And then sometime midweek, I'll try and work out when Ryan and I can hop on again to work through more of this tutorial. So I would guess probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of those dates. But yeah, I'm going to call it here. Thank you, everyone who watched, and we'll catch you next time.